I'm Shazia Hussain. I'm the Deputy Chief Executive at Waltham Forest Council. I'm going to be saying a few words about Islamophobia and really what it is and my own personal account of it, but also the role of councils in this space. Islamophobia is the fear, the hatred, the discrimination of somebody who's Muslim or the faith of Islam itself. And Islamophobia Month is the month where we raise awareness, we try to show and showcase positive experiences and images of Islam and Muslims more generally. I think Islamophobia is a complex discrimination because it's intersected by many other discriminations. For me personally, that's sexism, that's racism, that's discrimination against my culture, and obviously discrimination against my faith as well. And sometimes Islamophobia is quite overt, but quite often it's quite discreet. And also I've had quite a complex relationship, I think, with my faith and how I display that to others. And certainly as a young person, when I was at school, like most young people, you want to be like everybody else and you want to conform. And I learned quite early on in life that if I wanted to belong, I needed to hide some of the things that I was, including my faith, because I didn't want to be discriminated against. I remember at school we had, I came from a secondary school which had 50% Black and Asian students and 50% were about, white community. And we had two playgrounds. We had North and South playground. And in the North playground, you would largely see the Black Afro-Caribbean children and Asian, largely Pakistani children. And on the South playground, you would see the white children. And I suppose I made a conscious decision as quite a young girl, for about 13, where I decided that I wanted to be in the playground, on the South playground with the white children, because I didn't want to be discriminated against. I didn't want to be people making decisions about me and boxing me because of my faith, and to get the mickey taken out of because of that, and it was intersected with my kind of culture and my race as well to some degree. What happens is you learn to hide things, you learn to hide who you are, and as you grow older, as I grew older, I think I grew to hide more and more of myself, more and more of my authentic self. The trouble with that is that, if you're hiding who you are and who your authentic self is, how do you display authentic leadership, which is about your values, which is about ethics, which is about being transparent and sharing information. And so if you're hiding who you are, how can you be all of those things, and how can you be in that space, and how can you lead others? But I've been lucky. I've worked for councils and pretty much most of my career, and I've been in places where, as I became in more senior positions, I was able to be more my authentic self, because I realised that the space that I was most effective was the space where I was able to be myself and, hold my true values and my true beliefs and practice those. And they came from my faith. And so I started to be more overt about being a Muslim, and I started to be in this space more. And I'm slightly embarrassed that it was only very recently, last sort of couple of years, that I even knew that Islamophobia Month existed. And it was only when a colleague at the council in Brent, where I was working before here, came to me and said, look, we want to do something on Islamophobia Week, and as a senior officer, Muslim woman in the council, would you be interested in participating? And of course I did. It was a joint event between Harrow Council and Brent Council, and it was, I think London Council shared it amongst other local authorities, and we had over 100 people attend the webinar. And I got so many emails from people saying that it was really empowering for them, and they felt that they could be more open about their faith and about Islam, and it was good to see a version of Islam that isn't about what you see in the TV. And unfortunately, media and the kind of images that you get of Muslims can feel like propaganda sometimes and can feel quite discriminatory. And so this month gives us the opportunity to share the different Muslims you get in the community, the different ways that we practice and the way that we, who we are and what we are. And I think that's really, really important. And it's really important for councils to be in this space because we are the conveners of our communities. We work with our interfaith organisations, we work with our community leaders, and we want to all be working and living in a borough where there's cohesion, there's understanding, and so actually for councils, this pace, not only for Islamophobia but any discrimination, and raising awareness around that is absolutely essential. In 2020, Waltham Forest introduced the first citizen assembly citizen assembly for against hate crime, where we gathered local residents and we spoke to them about their experiences, but also how they wanted the council to work with them and what they wanted us to be doing in this space. And I'm really pleased that we listened, and one of the things that we really heard from people was that they wanted to be a recognition and understanding of how people live in their neighbourhoods and in their localities and how they receive services and engage with each other, and what that means for them in terms of safety, what that means in terms of how they're able to report crime, hate crime, and share that information with us and our partners like the police. And we've introduced the 15-minute neighbourhoods, which is entirely about localities and neighbourhoods and how people intersect with each other. But also we're introducing the community safety programme, which is, community safety model, which is entirely, again, based around the neighbourhoods and enables people to be able to really deal and work with us and with partners like the police to deal with discrimination, deal with safety and the way that people perceive safety and how they want to engage in their communities. So I think councils increasingly need to be in this space. I think they are. Today was really about just helping to raise some awareness. And as a Muslim leader, I think that's really important for me. Thank you for listening.